everyone, my name is Sivaranjani and I am a foundation student from City University, Malaysia. Today, I am going to be talking about the types of pollution in Malaysia and its causes. Studies have shown that, on average, the rate of pollution have been increasing rapidly over these past years. As the world embraced urbanization, Mother Nature witnessed the greener lands getting transformed into modern cities and metropolises. What followed is a trail of natural disasters, signaling that something is wrong with the planet Earth. However, do we realize that pollution is increasing like the marks for writing section in schools and even college tests, as well as the competitive exams? There are multifarious types of pollution in Malaysia, and there are many causes that leads to this occurrence. First and foremost, one of the most critical threats faced by our planet in the present-day scenario, environmental pollution is the global issue affecting people around the world. It is occurring in different forms, whether by affecting the air we breathe or the water resources we utilize for several purposes. Before that, generally speaking, how many of us actually know what this pollution means? Based on the findings, pollution is the introduction of harmful materials into the environment. These harmful materials are called as pollutants. Accordingly, a pollutant is a waste material that pollutes the air, water, or even soil. Besides, the three factors that determine the severity of a pollutant is its chemical content, the concentration, and the area affected by its persistence. Pollutants damage the quality of air, water, and even the land. However, some pollutants are biodegradable, and therefore, it will not persist in the environment in the long term. Primary pollutants are emitted directly into the environment, while secondary pollutants are formed from primary pollutants and external factors. Like pollution, pollutants can also be in various forms. This is evidenced by different types of pollutants including nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, particulate matter, ground-level ozone, volatile organic compounds, mercury, and also peroxyl nitrates. Now, allow me to discuss about the types of pollution in Malaysia that contributes to the environmental destruction. Firstly, let's look at the most commonly heard pollution such as in newspaper highlights, articles, blogs, and even social medias. Obviously, it's no other than the air pollution. Air pollution is contamination of the indoor or outdoor environment by any chemical, physical, or even biological agent that modifies the natural characteristics of the atmosphere. However, in Malaysia, the air pollution index is still under control compared to the other countries. However, there must be a reason what causes the air pollution in Malaysia, even though it's not that bad. In my opinion, I think that the main cause of air pollution in Malaysia is because the emission from the industry. Industrial process emits huge amount of organic compounds such as carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and chemicals into the air. These are creating consequences on environment. For instance, a number of industrial sources are responsible for the emission of carbon monoxide along with fuel-fired boilers, internal combustion gas boilers, and gas stoves. Secondly, the combustion of fossil fuels can also be another cause of air pollution in our country. Fossil fuels such as coal and oil for electricity production and road transportation adds a huge amount of air pollution like carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and also sulfur dioxide. Moving on, agricultural activities can also contribute to this current event. For example, agricultural activities often release harmful chemicals like pesticides and fertilizers which can also contribute to this issue. As a result from this activity, humans and nature are facing a lot of crises. It is proven when the number of health issues are rising and the amount of vacant rooms in the hospital are decreasing. Arguably, This is proven when we are facing major health issues such as lung cancer, heart diseases, asthma, and respiratory problems. Putting it all together, I would like to say that the air pollution is a major issue that needs to be handled immediately by our government. Air pollution can also contribute to eutrophication. This is a condition in a water body where high concentrations of nutrients such as nitrogen stimulates blooms of algae, which in return can cause the fish kills and loss of plant and animal diversity. Before moving on to the next point, let me tell you guys a famous quotation by Caroline Lucas, which goes, "We have lived with deadly levels of air pollution for years, which have made us more vulnerable to coronavirus. I think this will actually suit a lot for us during this pandemic situation along with this pollution." Now, allow me to discuss about the upcoming point about pollutions in Malaysia. It is a common knowledge that around 2/3 of the world is made up of water, which means that taking care of the Earth's water should be a priority for everyone around the globe. When harmful microorganisms and chemical substances contaminate into the bodies of water, they cause the water quality to decrease and potentially make it toxic. Water pollution can have negative effects on our health, the environment, and also the economy. From here, I am sure that all of you could guess about my next point, which is water pollution in Malaysia. When discussing this issue that can arise due to this water pollution, there are 4 major factors that leads to this occurrence. In my opinion, I think that the first cause of water pollution is because of industrial waste. Many industrial sites produce waste in the form of toxic chemicals and pollutants. And though regulated, some still do not have proper waste management systems in the place. Waste from agricultural sites, mines, and manufacturing plants can make its way into rivers, streams, and other bodies of water that lead directly to the sea. The toxic chemicals in these waste products by these industries not only have the potential to make the water unsafe for human consumption, they can also cause the temperature in freshwater systems to change, making them dangerous for many water-dwelling organisms. Furthermore, another cause that contributes to water pollution is marine dumping. Much of the plastic pollution in the ocean comes from fishing boats, tankers, and cargo ships. The process of marine dumping is exactly what it sounds like, dumping garbage into the waters in the ocean. It might seem crazy, but household garbage is still collected and dumped into the oceans by many countries across the world. Next, the sewage and wastewater systems can also be one of the causes of water pollution. Harmful chemicals, bacteria, and pathogens can be found in sewage and wastewater even when it's been treated. Sewage and wastewater from each household is released into the sea with fresh water. Moreover, oil leaks and spills can also be another cause of water pollution. The age-old phrase, "like water and oil," is used when describing two things that do not mix easily or at all. Just as the saying goes, water and oil do not mix, and oil does not dissolve in water. Large oil spills and oil leaks, while often accidental, are a major cause of water pollution. Leaks and spills are often caused by oil drilling operations in the oceans or ships that transport oil. Lastly, the agricultural activities can also be the cause of water pollution. In order to protect the crops from bacteria and insects, farmers often use chemicals and pesticides. When these substances seep into the groundwater, they can harm animals, plants, and also humans. Additionally, when it rains, the chemicals mix with rainwater, which then flows into rivers and streams that filter into the ocean, causing further water pollution. On the other hand, if water pollution is not stopped, in the future, humans will be lack of potable drinking water. Furthermore, when we have lack of access to clean waters, people have no option but to drink water contaminated by the excrement, exposing them to diseases such as cholera, hepatitis A, and also dysentery. As you guys can see in this pie chart, this is the number of polluted rivers in Malaysia from the year 2013 to the year 2019. Before moving on to the next point, let me tell you guys an interesting quotation about water pollution, which goes, "By polluting clear water with slime, you will never find good drinking water." Lastly, the type of pollution that I'm going to talk about is noise pollution. Noise pollution is an invisible danger. It cannot be seen, but it is present, both on land and under the sea. Noise pollution is considered to be any unwanted or disturbing sound that affects the health and well-being of humans and other organisms. Throughout this video, we have looked at the causes that contributes to the pollution. Same goes to this, noise pollution. One of the major causes that contributes to this noise pollution is industrialization. Most of the industries use big machines which are capable of producing a large amount of sound. Apart from that, various equipment like compressors, generators, exhaust fans, grinding mills also participate in producing big noise. Secondly, poor urban planning can also be one of the causes of noise pollution. This is because in most countries, poor urban planning also plays a vital role. Congested houses, large families sharing small space, fighting over parking, frequent fights over basic amenities leads to noise pollution. On the other hand, as we are living in an era full of technologies, the technologies of transportation has also developing day by day. In this issue, we are aware of the noise that are created from this transportation. Lastly, let's talk about the construction activities that leads to the noise pollution. Under construction activities like mining, construction of bridges, dams, buildings, stations, roads and also flyovers takes place in almost every part of the country. Lastly, let me explain to you guys about the effects of noise pollution. We often think that noise pollution doesn't actually contribute much to us, but actually that's a false issue. For example, noise pollution could cause physical problems. It also causes headaches, high blood pressure, respiratory agitation, racing pulse, and in exposure to extremely loud, constant noise, gastritis, and even heart attacks may occur. Moving on, psychological issues can also be one of the effects of noise pollution. The level of irritation increases with increased noise, and people tend to become less and less patient. Lastly, the noise pollution also affects on the wildlife. This is because animals develop a better sense of hearing than us, since their survival depends on it. Species that depend on mating calls to reproduce are often unable to hear these calls due to the excessive man-made noise pollution. This might disrupt the growth of these species, which can lead to major effects in the future. As we can see, this is the graph of statistics of noise pollution comparison between year 2010 and 2020 in Malaysia. As you can see, the sound pollution in the year 2010 is way lesser than it is in year 2020. This pretty much proves how much man has made disruption to this earth by polluting it with sound. Finally, we are at the end of the video. I would like to conclude that environmental pollution has become a great concern to save our planet. We need to adopt various measures to reduce the environmental pollution, as we stated just now. Some of them include planting trees, reducing the use of non-renewable resources, and also proper disposal of waste. It is the responsibility of every individual to save our environment from getting polluted. Before wrapping things up, let me take a few seconds to thank Mother Nature and to remind all of you to take care of this wonderful earth. Thank you for watching my video.